Hello, crafty friends. Welcome to my craft room. I'm Yvonne with Amjour, On My Mind, Journaling and More. And today will be the last day that I'm working in my June signature. And then it's on to July. Today is the 29th, and tomorrow is the last day of June. And honestly, the only journal prompt I've done is this wood packaging. I have some ideas on what to do for them, but I've shoved them in the days I want to use them on. So I'm going to get as much done in this journal as I possibly can. And then it'll be on to July. The next time I record will be July. So I have done some of this on my own just to try to get going. So I'm going to skip ahead. 15th. This is where I left off, the 16th of June. So we'll get as much done as we possibly can today. I have printed pictures through June 27th. So, and there's not a lot of pictures, honestly. So the first thing I want to do is get these Post-its in from my planner. And let's see, that's this week, the 23rd. The 23rd here. So I'm just going to pop these Post-it notes in so that as I get to those pages, I'll kind of have an idea of what happened that day. I've been trying desperately to keep up with that at least. And it does help when I go back through and do the actual journaling. It does help. Oh, I guess I I glued this page to there. And the 28th, and then today is the 29th, and then Monday will be the 30th. Oh, well, now here is another one of the journal prompts. Excuse me. Knitted sweater in June, I was so not sure how to do. But I did find some knitted sweater journal paper, and I just wrote, literally, yikes, how can I journal about a knitted sweater? And so in my office, they freeze me out. So even though last week was a heat wave, 100 plus degrees outside, it was freezing in that office. So that's what I journaled about to fulfill that prompt. All right, so now back to the 16th. And this is actually the center of this journal, this signature. So I still have some paper clips in the front. And then the rest of it, I should be okay to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch into the accordion fold 365 journal. All right. Let's just peek at this one receipt. This was from, let's see, right here. I'll just pop it in there. And so this Sunshine and Sunflowers was the prompt I was most excited about. And I'm pretty sure I want to do that here. Even though the background I glued in doesn't really scream sunshine and flowers. We went to my daughter's house for dinner that night, and she always has a sunflower patch. That was her wedding flower, and so I'm going to just journal about that. And when we get there, we'll just see. I've got some journaling cards that have sunflowers on them, a sticker, Be the Sunshine. Just, this won't all fit on that one page. Like, this is huge, but I might use it as just like a background. And then I've got this journaling card that I made with sunflowers on it. So, I wonder if that could be a pocket. Anyway, let me not get distracted. That's me, easily distracted. But in any case, that will fulfill this sunshine and sunflowers journal prompt. And so that will be 3. Somewhere in here, there's 2 more. What else do I have? So I printed the pictures and popped them in already, but one of the other journalers that I watch has some printer struggles. But what I did learn, unfortunate, I feel bad for her because she really is having a lot of printer issues. But I did learn that some of these things that I want to put in my journal don't necessarily need to be printed on photo paper. So this, my husband made some grilled smoked burnt ends. He loves to grill and smoke. So I snapped a picture of his burnt ends, and they were delicious. I told him he had to keep that recipe. Well, this is actually for July. Or we'll go to a concert, my daughter's concert. They do it, it's actually on July 3rd. And then fireworks, this is actually for July 2. So I'm already starting, oh my goodness, apparently I printed his burnt ends twice. So this is for the fireworks, that's July 4th too. Well, this is July 3rd, July 4th. So I'm excited. We're taking an extra long weekend. We have the 4th off, and then I'm taking the Monday off, so I don't need that. Not sure why I printed all this, but I will. My granddaughter found a new program on her phone, and she's making these little, like, snippets. So she made my name and sent this to me in a text. So that will go somewhere in here. I'm trying not to crumple this paper in your ear. I'm not sure why I printed both of those, so I'm just going to set those aside. And, okay, here's some more food. My daughter, we had a terrible storm come through, and she had tomatoes that fell off the vine, so I made fried green tomatoes. And then there's a story for this. My granddaughter was needing some encouragement, so she's kind of into these little memes. So I sent her that in a text. There's one more I sent to her. She probably didn't understand it, but it's this butterfly meme. This is from Pinterest, I think. Yeah. And it says, "The butterfly is only beautiful because the caterpillar is brave." She probably didn't understand that, but that reminded me of her. She's gone through a lot in her 11 years. More so than, well, I'm sure there's other children that go through the trauma that she's been through, but which is terrible. It's a terrible thing in our society. So this was again about her. I sent her this because we were doing something that really took her outside of her comfort zone, and yeah, I'm gonna journal about that. And I didn't realize that, but I think she has like that, what do you say, that sixth sense, where she senses things kind of before they happen. And so I need to remember to pay attention to her instincts. I finished another book. Excited about that. I finished the first book of 2025 on that trip to Chicago that was so terrible. And then I bought another one. It was a thin book, and I read it like in a week, which is so unusual for me. And sometimes I print these, and then sometimes I just don't have room to put them in this small Reader's Digest size journal. But that was the last video I made. And then, a bunch of memes. This is more for me. I thought it was cute. I don't know if it'll go in this journal or not, but I like it. I'll save it for another time. When life gives you a dumpster fire, roast marshmallows. How cool is that? I'm into quotes. I really like quotes, but I think I am going to put this probably in this little... I've been putting together a travel pack. I enjoyed this month getting out and going to grab a cup of coffee and sitting down with my journal. So, and I'm doing it for the first time, I realized things I was missing. So I've been just putting things in a little like pencil pouch to take with me the next time, because there will be a next time. I really enjoyed that time to just sit and reflect. Okay, this should all be for June. And I see one of the journal prompts on these little images. We had so much rain. Now we're in a heat wave, but my poor tomatoes are drowning. Look at all that. I don't know if you can see that standing water. I had to get my husband to drill some holes. I do all my gardening in raised beds or pots. And so that's terrible. I'm not getting any tomatoes. I honestly think they've gotten too much water. Tomatoes are kind of finicky. Here's another journal with me. And here's an image of the little tea. It's called the tea room, but they sell coffee too. So I got a cup of coffee and a scone and sat with my journal. This is just an image from my notebook. I had jotted down some notes from one of the meetings I had with my boss. And it was actually pleasant news. So yeah, here's the heat wave. After all that rain, then we went into the first real heat wave we've had, first summer heat wave in June. So I think I'll put these two together. The tomatoes drowning and then the heat wave. Last one, and this is one of the journal prompts. And one of the journal prompts was favorite food. And so the problem is I like food. I like all kinds of food. So what I'm choosing currently as my favorite food, June, July, summer, we go to a lot of cookouts and things. And so honestly and truly, I like that potluck style where you can get a variety of foods. So charcuterie, I think, will be what I'm going to journal about. There's just little charcuterie things, pop-ins, whatever you want to call them. This happened to be a lunch I packed for myself and took to work. I didn't really feel like a sandwich, so I packed a bunch of vegetables and some nuts and some dried fruit. So that's what I will journal about. Now I have to figure out where all these go, but I have them kind of sorted. I wanted this sticker too. That's actually for this weekend. I think I gave myself some sort of like heat. What's the first step in heat injuries? Heat exhaustion. We decided this was the only weekend, this current weekend, we had to do some neglected yard work. And we stayed out there and I was sweating, so terribly sweating. Yeah, that's all I wrote. Yard work, feel sick now. So, and well, I don't know where that's going to go yet, but I think we tend to shove a lot of things into the weekend. Okay. Let's see what I can get glued down. And as I go, I can pop these things in. So, June 15th was actually Father's Day. We celebrated it the day before. My daughter stepped on a snake, a copperhead. And my granddaughter colored this snake a long time ago. And I saved it, like, well, maybe I'll find a use for it. She stepped on a snake in her bunny pen. And in flip-flops, she was so extremely lucky. She did not get bit, thank goodness. The bunny was good, did not bite the bunny, which that was my next thing because my daughter, she loves her animals. And so yeah, I think not really much going on. It was just a normal day. We went to the pool, we went to the grocery store. So not a bunch going on. So I think this is going to be it for this page. And then I'll come back and journal about the snake. Ooh, I would be terrified. And it was a big snake. She sent me a picture. Oh, maybe I should, you know what? I should go back and print that picture of the actual snake. I'm going to write that down. She texted it to me. Print snake pic. Okay. Now, this is just something I tipped in. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's a little note that my granddaughter left for my husband. And she does the sweetest little things. And so these are the kind of things I want to look back on and remember. She says, when you get bored at work and have nothing to do, you have this, Godzilla. No clue, but that's her personality. She's very, very animated. So I want to hang on to those memories. And I'm popping the rest of this into this little travel case because it's a good journal spot. I better glue that back down where I had pulled it up. Ooh, yeah, so yesterday I was so exhausted. I really do think I had that first stage of heat exhaustion because we were sweating terribly, terribly. And I drank water. I did all the right things. But for some reason, I literally crashed after I came in and took my shower, ate some lunch. I literally crashed. So, all right, the 16th. Not really, but here's the flooded tomato pots that I wanted to talk about. So, it's not really the heat wave yet, but I thought these two things we could talk about, just some seasonal things. And here's my flooded tomatoes. And what do I have clipped on the back of this? Keep that all together. And we live very near the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And I follow, I forget what Facebook page this is, but they track sharks in the Pamlico Sound. And they track the largest male great white shark ever recorded. So another reason why I am terrified of the ocean. It really is. I think I'm just going to pop these two images in here, but I do need a journal spot to talk about. Where's the seasonality? Talk about this journal, seasonal things. Well, I have a whole tray of journal spots. Not a tray, a little basket of things. I've been trying to put them together. I don't want to spend too much time. I just really want to get this journal done. But I'm going to find something, I'm sure, in here. What's this? Little houses. That might be cute. You know what? I'm not going to think about it too much because I literally need to finish as much as I can in this journal this weekend. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. So where can I trim? Right here. And then I can just... something just pinged me. I don't know if you heard that in the background, but it's like something I'm supposed to do, maybe? I don't know. I'm just going to glue these things down, however they land. But this I know I want at the bottom. Well, that's going to drive me crazy. It's something I wanted to remember. Does anybody else do that? I put like things in my phone to remind me to do things. So, all right, we're going to talk about the rain. My goodness, the rain. The rain drowned my tomatoes. I'm very sad about that. Because I love a good tomato sandwich. Not with the tomatoes you buy at the store. The ones you can buy in the store to me don't have any flavor. But a homegrown tomato is to me the best food. I should have written about that for my favorite food instead of the charcuterie. But that first homegrown tomato sandwich, ooh, that is the best thing ever. So I'll put it right there. Okay. So how many is that now? 1, 2, 3. Well, anyway, here's another journal prompt. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time. So I'm going to put the Post-it note back down for when I go back through and do my journaling. Let's see, the 17th. Oh, this is the stuff I pulled out for the 17th. Let's see, work from home, drama camp, Walmart. Well, what do you do on a day when not much is going on? We went to Walmart. Did I print anything for this? No. Those are for July. I don't know what days these are on. I think I wrote down finished a book on one of the Post-its. But I did. It was like a week after I got back. Okay, well, we went to Walmart, and my granddaughter is she's preteen-ish. Let me see if one of these things could work. She's preteen-ish and starting to be a little conscious about her skin and her weight and all that stuff. Just typical preteen girl. So she's beginning to get a little bit of acne. And so we went and we bought her this skincare treatment. This is what she wanted. And it's kind of, I love the packaging of it. It's called Bubble. That's the brand. And I just love the packaging. It's really geared towards that preteen market. And so why not? Maybe I'll use these sides. That's really not. Do I have any stickers to fill up some space? Oh, here we go. I love this. This is perfect. No beauty shines brighter than that of a kind heart. And look at that. Let's see how I want to do this. I want this to be front and center. And then I can talk about her struggles. Don't think I can write on this. It's too thick. But I do like it together. Maybe I should have put that. Oh, it's upside down. I don't know if you can see my crooked cutting here on this packaging. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do that. So each one of these little 1.7 ounce, 1 ounce little skincares are almost $14. So, but I did that same thing for my daughters. My daughters had some terrible acne, and we did, I can't remember the whole skincare regimen that was out back in the 90s. But we did all that for them. I don't know that anything truly works for teenage acne other than growing up. But it makes them feel better. And she has been diligently working through her skincare. And So I feel sure that sometime next month we'll be buying another $14 bottle of skincare treatments for her. But it seems to be keeping so far. I mean, she's still, I don't think she's full blown into puberty yet. But so far, the other new thing they use, it's pimple patches. So she has these little star-shaped pimple patches, and she walks around. A lot of the kids, now that I know what they are walking around with these pimple patches on. So it's kind of cute. And they seem to work. They target that one little area, keeps them from picking and scarring. So whatever works. As long as we can afford it, I'm all for it. Now, I think what I'm going to do here, this is a white page. Well, maybe I'm going to change my mind before I even say it. Nah. I don't do much with the junk mail envelopes. I think there's journal books you can make with these things and tags and all kinds of whatnots. But what I have been doing is keeping the inside of the security envelopes. I think they're interesting. Here was one that I kept. I've never seen that green color. I've used it in this June book. And this kind of looks like chicken wire to me on the inside of this envelope. So I'm saving that. All right, so I think I'm just going to write in my handwriting all about her skincare regimen. And so that's on to the 18th. How are we for time? Pretty good. Let's see. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, well, here we go. This goes on this day. Oh, I messed this up. Oh, here we go. Charcuterie board. That's going to be my favorite food. Here's the prompt. And, oh, my husband got a little gift from his work. Thank you for your partnership. And I thought that was so sweet. And since this is, where's my Post-it? Let me just quickly peek. Yeah, I mean, I made some phone calls, talked to some friends. But, so I think what I'm just going to do is, since this is a little flip, I am going to glue this whole thing down because I don't have much to talk about. Excuse me. This I ripped off of a linen something or other. It's a sticker on here, but I couldn't get this fuzzy background off. So I'm going to try my glue stick, but I think it's going to gum up. We'll just see. This is just usually what I grab for a big thing I'm going to glue down. It seems to be doing okay. There we go. Seems to be doing just fine. And then it kind of covers up the rest of that Fly a Kite page. This is the tricky part, to get this back centered. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. There we go. And let's see. So they sent him a box of branded goodies. So I cut out from the box these little things, but now I also wanted to talk about my favorite food here. That would be cute as a tab to open up that flip. Just don't know it's strong enough. So, how about reinforcing it some? Oh, well, I only need about half of that. The other half, yeah, I think I'm going to just do it like that. Why not? Because the other half will be glued to that page and we'll reinforce it. I liked the placement here. Oops. So I'm just going to glue it on. Why not? And then, how did it go? Right there. And I only want a little bit of it tipped off, so do I need that pencil again? Maybe about right here is where I need the glue. Ooh, I didn't realize it was open. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Tip it upside down. I want it about down there. Let me get my bone folder for this one. I feel like I might need it. And, okay, good. All right, that looks kind of cute. So, now, do I just want these here? And then flip up and write about the charcuterie board. Finger foods, yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So all these will go here. Because I can't write on that background paper. So, I'm starting to think about how I'm going to do my July signature. And I truly believe this process, how I'm doing it, I did it last month and now this month, seems to work. Oops, too much glue. Where I can put this together and then sew it in at the end of the month. It gives me a little bit of flexibility. It's not so bulky to work in, but it's still, where did I want this one? There. It's cute. And that seems to be sticking. I'm contemplating rounding the corner, but I don't want to round this one because it juts down. I am going to do that. Let's see if I can get this in there. I struggle with this one. This one's not going to work. I have an old one that I use, but it's getting dull. I don't know if this one will go in there now. Oh, no, I should have done it before I glued it, but okay, it's fine that way. Now, I think I'm going to cut off the word your because it's not going to fit. And I wonder, I'm just going to, since this is like a bubble lettering, ooh, I've gone down a rabbit hole now. Probably shouldn't have tried to cut this all out. Not good. And I have these great big scissors. Why don't I get the little ones out ever? I never think about them. These are just my favorite. Favorite scissors, favorite food. Let's get that corner. And then this side. Okay. That will go here. And then I will write about charcuterie boards. Favorite food. Okay. Oh, well, that happens to be the exact same size. I am going to add that. I don't know why. I wrote it on this little scrap to try to help me remember how to spell it. Because how do you spell a charcuterie board? I had to ask Google. That pin on that glue keeps getting me. Okay. I wonder if I could get it from this side. Nope. I've got a little stick right there now. That pin got me. But it does work to keep that pin right on the bottle instead of getting lost on my desk. I've lost it a few times. Sip of my coffee. And the little image. I'll put it way down here. This was happened to be my lunch that day. Just didn't feel like a heavy lunch. I don't really go out to lunch. I usually typically bring my lunch. Dang, I'm still bleeding. Okay, I will put this back to do the journaling. What I'm thinking about though, where was that page that I did at the coffee shop? When I had this page. I'm wondering if I should put those lines down. Or what I used was a marker and it didn't really show through, but this will show through, I think. I'm just looking, there's some highlight. It's like it picked up something from the packaging. I am going to add some lines, but I'm going to use what are these called? I'm reaching mild liner. I have several of these. I really love them. Let's see. Hot pink. I have a regular highlighter. That's hot pink. Should I use pink? Why not? All right, so this will give me, I tend to, if I don't have lines or something, my handwriting goes on an angle up for some reason. Not sure why. So there's one. So this will give me something to track. They don't have to be perfect. In fact, I don't want them to be perfect. Let's see, one more. And then I'll just leave that spot down there blank. Okay. All right. What's next? The 19th. This week, my granddaughter had, I think that goes in there. She had drama camp all week, and that was the team she was on. So let's see, this day, I went to the office physical therapist. We're very lucky, very fortunate that we have someone we can go to, and I struggle. I have shoulder rotator cuff issues, and so he's helping me work through that. Not really much going on this day. I really thought I wrote down when I finished the book. If not, I may put the book on that page. I guess not. Okay, I'm going to put the book on this page. For some reason, is it back here though? No, because it was after this, because I bought the book this day. Yeah, and I finished it about a week later. So yeah, that's where it's going, and I'll write about, geez, I finished another book. It's so unlike me. Before I glue this stuff down, I could write on this, but I'd have to use a Sharpie. So if I use a Sharpie, it shouldn't go through because there's something glued on the back side. Or I can put a journal spot down. Oh, here's a magazine clipping I want to use for this day, as we were checking off the list of outdoor chores. Okay. Oh, I just bent something. All right. A journal spot. Let's see. I have some stuff. I don't like that color for this page. Pink would be great, but I think I'm out. I pulled out a couple just scrapbook paid papers to use as journal spots for the month. And let's see. How are we on time? I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because I'm really just trying to get through all the journaling. That would work. I just don't want to cut it apart. But yet I haven't used it at all. It says June on the other side. No, it really doesn't go, does it? Ooh, I have that pretty napkin I haven't done anything with. Isn't he pretty? Maybe July. Maybe July. Let's see. Might have something. I don't think you can see, but if I don't find it here, I'm just going to go with the Sharpie. Yeah. I wonder if my eye would. I don't think I can write on that. I think my handwriting would get all off, out of whack. All right, I'm going to go with the Sharpie. I've got to clear my throat. Let me see if this will work. I'm so sorry. I took my earbuds out. Maybe it will make it less obnoxious in your ears. All right. So this was the conversation with my boss. And this is the book I finished in 1 week. How about that? Maybe I just need to get smaller books. No, that's probably what I need to do. This was a mystery. So I'm not a reader. I want to be a reader because it truly does help me relax. But I don't even know. I'm so much not a reader at 50 plus years old. I don't even know what type of books I like to read. So there's that. All right. This is the first day of summer. We were supposed to have her pool party this day, but they moved the drama camp to this week instead. It was supposed to be the following week, so we had to move her party to Saturday. So that worked out. I could put this is a journal card I made out of a magazine clipping, which I thought looked really good in here, and it matched that blue of summer. So here's the summer camp, but this was also the day I went to the tea room and did some journaling. Of course, I didn't record. I'm not going to do that. So, let's see. Will this fit? It will fit there. So let me leave a space at the bottom to do like a title or something. And these were just some business cards of things I did that day. I felt like it was an extra day. Our company, for the first time this year, gave us this Friday off for Juneteenth. And it was lovely. To me, it felt like an extra day off. There was a lot of happenings going on in our world, but I went to the tea room and did some journaling. It was positively lovely. And I thought so. Trim it off there. And let's see. There's that. Do I want to write about... I just want to... Yeah, I'm just going to glue that down on the page itself and write on the page. Not in a Sharpie, it's a regular scrapbook paper. So, there we go. And let's see, do I want to come up with a catchy title right now? No, because it's going to take me a long time to even pick out a pen. I'm funny like that. All right, so there's the 20th. I think I'm rocking and rolling. Where did we start on? The 15th? It's 5 pages, but the time is almost up. So, the time, I like to keep it under an hour. I think any longer than that is terrible. I have glued in a bunch of stuff, and so I feel caught up. I just didn't do this prompt, but I know what I'm doing. And so is that all the prompts? 1, 2. I think I'm missing a prompt. Unless it's shoved in here. 2. We're still at 2. 3. 4. Nope, that's all 5. Okay, great. I have finished all the June journal prompts. Now, it's going to be about this thick because I have this tip-in that folds out and out and out on all the flight changes they did on my trip trying to get home from Chicago. So that's taking up a lot of space. See how it gives that gap right there. So that accordion fold journal is going to be huge, but I'm totally invested in it. Okay, so this is going to wrap up June, and next time I record will be July. I did want to mention that I have been loading some Christmas items in my Etsy shop. This Etsy shop is small. There's not a lot. I have 3 more things that I'm going to list. Hopefully, I'm going to finish those up today and get them listed to start a Christmas in July sale. On July 1st, there will be 170 days till Christmas. You're welcome. But throughout the whole month of July, if you spend $20 in my shop and use the code July25, you'll get a 25% discount on in your cart. So search me up. I'll put a link to my shop in the notes on this video, or search me as Ommjour, Ommjour. I'm on Etsy, Instagram, and Facebook like that, and of course here. So, all right, you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in July.